Before telling you how to eliminate codependent behavior, you must first understand what it is. Many refer to it as a relationship addiction, but I see it as more like brainwashing. Codependency occurs when you are in a one-sided relationship where everything is always about the other person and never about you. It presents itself in different forms and stems from you neglecting to satisfy your own wants and needs to satisfy the needs of your abuser. Eventually, your abuser is in control of everything and your entire identity is lost. Here are 15 characteristics of codependent behavior. 1. Lack of self-trust or not trusting others. 2. Fear of abandonment or being alone. 3. Struggle to maintain control of other people or situations. 4. Chronic anger. 5. Frequently lying or making excuses. 6. Difficulty expressing yourself. 7. Trouble making decisions. 8. Problems with intimacy. 9. Issues setting and enforcing boundaries. 10. Trouble adjusting to change. 11. Constantly seeking approval or acceptance from others. 12. Easily offended when others don't appreciate or recognize your efforts. 13. An inclination to meet or exceed the expectations of others. 14. Difficulty distinguishing between love and pity. 15. Tendency to blame yourself for the actions of others. Now we'll talk about what causes codependent behavior. Codependent behavior usually roots from childhood. It's a learned behavior that children imitate from adults who model the behavior. Codependency grows more over time, especially when a person is frequently exposed to situations where their emotions are ignored or denied. Ultimately, the person with the codependent behavior will fail to address issues, pretend that problems don't exist, or downplay the level of seriousness. Codependency exhibits itself in every abusive relationship. Why? Because abuse is all about control. And what better way to control someone than to deprive them of their right to choose? The abuser will often criticize your choices to make you feel as if you are incapable of making good decisions. Whenever you have a suggestion or idea, they take over and start undermining them. Before you know it, they are the ones deciding where you should go, when you should go, how you should dress, how you should drive, how you should be you. And the funny thing about it is that as much as it irritates you, you will still find yourself going to them to make decisions for you. Why? Because in the same way victims fall for all the other manipulative mind games, they fall for this one too. Next, we'll talk about methods to overcome codependency. Independent thinking is a crucial part of independent living. However, to develop independent thinking requires one to be an independent learner. It's all about learning to trust your own judgment. Overcoming codependency consists of developing independent thinking, embracing your individuality, and setting and striving towards your own goals. Let's take a look at how you can accomplish all three. Ways to develop independent thinking. Saying no. Don't go along with things just because it's what everyone else is doing or what they think is best for you. You must realize what's good for others might not always be in your best interest. Learning to say no isn't easy. It's kind of like that part in a hot wax where they rip off the tape. Ouch. But once it's done, the pain subsides, and the only thing you're focused on is the beautiful outcome. Avoid and/or ignore peer pressure. As much as you might love your friends, you must admit that some of them are not the wisest when it comes to making good decisions. Do not allow those friends to persuade you into doing things you'll later regret. Take the time to analyze the situation before jumping on board. Ask questions. Confirm information. Be sure you understand the course of action before making a decision. And when you do decide, let that decision be yours. And if you're having trouble deciding, use this simple method. If you're in doubt, don't. Avoid impressing others. Sure, it's great to be acknowledged and recognized, but only when it's genuinely earned. It's easy to get caught up in the moment and lose direction, especially when you're seeking approval or acceptance from others. But doing things just to impress others is not logical, and you might end up paying great consequences for doing so. Whether at work, home, or play, try to make rational choices that will improve your quality of life. Remember, when you do good things, you get good results. When you do bad things, you get bad results. Make your choices wisely. Think logically. Exercising logical thinking is a skill that enhances as you use it. As humans, we are social beings, which puts us in position to be easily influenced by our family, friends, and other things we see in our daily environment. Think about it. Much of what we learn in life is a result of what we hear, see, or experience firsthand. Though we are surrounded by influences, we are the ones responsible for determining which ones are good and which ones are not so good. Don't allow yourself to be tempted by negative influences. Reflect on past mistakes and learn from them. And remember this, making mistakes is a lesson, not a lifestyle. When you know better, you do better. Making better choices makes a better you. Take healthy risks. Don't be afraid to try something new. The goal here is to prepare you for your new life. To make room for new opportunities, you must adopt a new mindset. Nobody knows the future, but instead of perceiving that as a bad thing, start seeing it as good. When you are afraid of what the future brings, you try to control it. And think about all the self-inflicted stress and anxiety you subject yourself to by trying to control things that are out of your control. So, since you know you can't control the future, just embrace it with a positive attitude. The future is going to happen and there's nothing you can do about it. Let that motivate you to take out your bucket list and start living. Try new things, go to new places, meet new people, make new memories. Enjoy the good times to the fullest so that you have the strength to endure when those occasional difficult moments do come. Don't be afraid to fail. The world is so full of knowledge that it's humanly impossible for one brain to contain all the information. Therefore, it's important to accept that you don't know everything and that you will never know everything. But just because you lack knowledge or don't get something right in the beginning doesn't make you a failure. Failure only comes when you stop trying. Rather than fearing failure, see it as an opportunity for growth. Life is a wonderful journey, but the path is paved by trial and error. There will be times when you face great challenges. However, giving up should never be an option. Be patient with yourself, use logical thinking, and continue trying new things that will build your courage. The more courage you have, the greater risk you'll be willing to take, and the greater your results will be. Steps to embracing your individuality. Recognize your habits. Your habits are your trademark. They are the things that define your individuality. Take note of your daily life and routines. What you do, when you do it, how you do it, and how often you do it. The more you know about your habits, the more you understand what's important to you. Describe yourself. Have you ever been caught off guard by someone asking you to introduce or describe yourself? You think that doing a self-introduction or describing yourself would be an easy task, but it's much harder than it sounds. Embracing your individuality involves not only knowing who you are, but also relating to and being comfortable with who you are. To help you achieve this, here is a simple exercise. Write down 10 characteristics you like or find interesting about yourself. Use that list to script a self-introduction or description. Review and memorize the script. Doing this will help you to be more mindful of who you are, as well as make it easier for you to describe yourself to others when prompted to do so. Identify with your struggles. It's inevitable that struggles will come and go in life. Oftentimes they come without warning, which provides no time to render a solution. If you've ever been faced with a difficult situation and had a hard time determining how to handle it, then you understand exactly what I mean. Identifying with your struggles will help you build confidence in your ability to overcome them. To improve the way you handle issues, try making a list of the things that challenge you. Then work on tackling them one by one. When you know what things challenge you, it helps you to better deal with your challenges. Be positive about you. Know that you are a good person with the ability to love and encourage others. You also deserve to be loved and encouraged, especially when you do it for yourself. Don't be discouraged by your imperfections. Know that you can have flaws and still be okay. Nobody is perfect, but the awesome part is that we all have the power to improve our way of life. Learn to accept who you are by speaking positive words into your life. Use inspirational quotes or affirmations for self-encouragement and self-motivation. The more positive you think about yourself, the better you will feel about yourself. Commit to being you. In addition to understanding more about yourself, you must also make a commitment to be yourself. Pretending to be someone you're not will only hinder your growth and happiness. So why not keep it real? Every morning that you wake up presents a new opportunity for you to love and embrace you. Be sure to put forth an effort each day to learn more about yourself. Be true to those characteristics that make you who you are. Do frequent self-evaluations to monitor your contentment and progress, just to be sure you don't lose sight of you. Celebrate the things you love about yourself and make efforts to change in the areas where improvement is needed. When you commit to being you, the real you will have the confidence to shine. Set and strive towards your goals. Many people confuse setting goals with making New Year's resolutions. They are not the same. Your goals are your vision for your future. They should be a reflection of who you are and what you want for your life. Remember, your life, your future, your goals. Here are some tips on setting and striving towards your own goals. Be specific. One of the most effective methods of goal setting is being specific about what you want. Give this very careful consideration. It's important that you know what you want to accomplish and what steps are necessary to accomplish it. A great way to get started is to ask yourself the following 5 questions. Number 1, what goal do I want to achieve? Number 2, what steps must I take to achieve my goal? Number 3, how long will it take me to achieve my goal? Number 4, what do I expect to gain from achieving my goal? 5, how will I reward myself once my goal is accomplished? Remember this, writing your goals make them appear more real. Whether you write them on paper or type them on an electronic device. Do not skip this step. It moves your goals from being a thought to being reality. When you perceive your goals as a reality, they seem more attainable and they will eventually begin to emerge. So, you might want to listen to this part of the audio again and be sure to write down your answers for future reference. Understand the purpose. Here are 3 more questions to ask yourself. Why do I want to accomplish this goal? Does my goal have meaning? What am I willing to sacrifice to accomplish my goal? Achieving goals requires commitment and sacrifice. For that reason, you must be aiming for something that has deep meaning to you. That doesn't mean that the goal has to be big. It simply means that it must be tied to something you care about. When something has meaning to you, you tend to put forth more effort in achieving it. Therefore, make your goal personal. Let your goals be defined by you and not by what others want for you. Be reasonable. Accomplishing your goals is exciting. Each time you reach a goal, it builds your momentum to aim higher. Don't deprive yourself of that excitement by setting goals that are not reasonable. Sure, you can do anything you set your mind to. No goal is out of reach. But it's important to understand that some things might take more time and effort than others. It doesn't matter if your goals are big or small, short-term or long-term. What matters is the logic used to set them. When you set reasonable goals, you're most likely to see them through. Now ask yourself this question: are my goals reasonable? If the answer is no, reevaluate them. Consider your beliefs. The goals you set for your life and future should be relevant. They should resemble your core values and beliefs. Remember, your life, your future, your goals. When setting your goals, consider what makes you who you are. The journey to achieving your goals will be much more pleasant if you're working towards something you believe in. Track your progress. Having a system that allows you to track your goals will help you be more successful in achieving them. Don't rush yourself, but do use a timeline to help you evaluate your progress. When you fail to track your progress, you will likely ignore your goals, which increases the chances that you'll revert back to the unhealthy patterns you're trying to overcome. You should track your progress every day so that you always know where you are in your journey. This helps you to see how far you've come. When you can see the progress, it inspires you to keep going. Reconsider and readjust. Setting and striving towards your goals can sometimes be a trial and error process. When evaluating your progress, don't fret if you don't see progress right away. However, continue using your timeline to determine where you are and where you hoped to be. If there is still no progress, do not panic or get discouraged. Instead, take a moment to refocus and readjust your approach and try again. If you follow these simple methods, you will soon find yourself overcoming codependency and living a very happy, healthy lifestyle. This is your life, and it's time for you to make it your own. That means making your own choices and living life your way. That is a goal within itself. Don't forget to write down the answers to the questions you heard in this audio. You can use your answers to create a detailed outline that will help guide you through the process of eliminating codependencies so that you can move on to the next level of healing.